All right, we're recording. How are you, man?
Oh, hey, buddy. How are you? It's good to see you. What you got going on there? Is that wine?
It is wine, yeah. So I have a dry Riesling from the Columbia Valley. I don't know if you can really
I
see
cannot
the
read.
label, but it's just a nice lighter wine. It's good. You got a drink with you tonight?
I mean, yeah. I have a I have an alcohol problem. Just kidding. So I have a new bottle, right? It is the Bal. Let me make sure I'm saying this correctly.
Hmm.
Balvenie is what they call it. Is what it's called. It's a
Balvenie.
12-year-old Scotch whiskey,
Okay.
and I have never had it. And this. It's not super expensive in like the realm of bourbons, whiskeys, and all that stuff. But it's the
Yeah.
most expensive one I've ever had. So kind of
Okay.
excited. Just having it over a single cube.
Is this your first time trying it right now?
Oh yeah, we're live, buddy.
Oh, cool. Good. I wanna watch you see your
Watch,
reaction.
watch me just like start vomiting uncontrollably.
This is terrible.
People drink this. Why? All right, single rock in there. Let's bottoms up. That's They took out the fire. Lagavulin says this on their bottles. If you know anything about Lagavulin, it's another
Mm-mm.
Scotch. It's Ron Swanson's drink. It's kind of funny.
Okay.
They took out the fire but left the warmth. Doesn't hurt at all going down. That's awesome. That
Okay.
is that's worth every penny.
Cool.
I might get a little drunk on this episode. Who knows? This is tasty.
Heck yeah. I
Yeah.
have you ever had like the whiskeys or scotches that are like boggy? Like it feels like you're just drinking distilled bog. It's a very interesting drink. You know what I'm
I
talking
don't
about?
know. I don't think so.
I feel like they're just like fancier, more expensive ones. I had them one time when I was living out in Washington. It was interesting. I didn't particularly enjoy it, but it was
Mm,
interesting. I guess some people are into it.
right. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I'll dive down that path next. I'll look up a bog
Check
flavored
it out.
whiskey. I don't know. Sure.
Whiskey that tastes like a bog. That's how
That's
that's how
all.
the bartender described it to me too. Because I went and I told her I wanted to try something new. She's like, okay, well, I recommend this one. It's pretty different. It tastes like a bog. I was like, what?
What,
She's
ma'am?
like, like a bog, like a
No, I don't.
swamp, a bog. It's real boggy. I was like, all right, let's try it.
Sure.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
So how's your week going, buddy? What's up? What's the dealio? What's popping in Tom's world, huh?
Well, I still don't have all of my household goods that are being shipped here.
Tragic.
So, been sleeping on an air mattress
Okay,
for like 2, 3 weeks. I
we've all been
don't
there.
love that. And I don't know when it's gonna get here. They said on or before September 15th. So hopefully, hopefully before. But I guess they'll give me a call like about 24 hours out so I can be at my house waiting for it.
Okay.
But
So,
works going fine. Um, I've been planning some stuff lately. I planted some microgreens, some mung beans, if you know what
ooh,
those are. So
I
those are cool.
think so. I think I've heard of those.
Yeah, they're doing well. They're just little sprouts. Do you know about microgreens? I know we've talked about them in the past a
Yeah.
little. So just like the gist of microgreens is it's stuff that you plant it and then you harvest it while it's still a baby. And like I think they taste good, like the greens, like they're nice and tender, and they're also supposed to be more nutrient dense when they're just like little sprouts. but pretty much everything, like you plant them and then you harvest it in like 5 to 7 days. So I planted these mung beans, I think like 4 days ago, like a day after we recorded the last podcast. And like I think I'm gonna harvest them tomorrow, which is crazy.
Really?
But
That's pretty quick.
they look like they look like like bamboo sprouts or shoots, or not bamboo. What am I saying? What's the
You
stuff,
got it.
the little shoots that you have with pho? You know what I'm talking about? Maybe they're bamboo shoots.
Oh yeah. I don't know if they're bamboo
You know what I'm
shoots.
talking
The
about?
little yeah, the little
They're
green
like
stuff
little
that's like
sprouts.
yeah, sure.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I
anyway,
don't know. I
they
can't
look like that. Like they're about the same size. So there's a bunch of different stuff, but it's all kind of the same idea. You plant them,
remember. Okay.
and oh, your video froze up on me. Oh, we're good. Okay, I can hear you. Anyway, yeah, that's the gist. So that's fun. I planted some tomatoes, spinach, and lettuce, and mustard greens. So only the mustard greens are sprouting,
Hmm.
but I only planted those like 4 days ago, so that's fine. Probably plant some more stuff
Okay.
tomorrow. So yeah, exciting stuff. Trying to grow some things, you know.
You're cutting.
Ah, gosh, I need a better connection.
Cool. I hear you.
Can you hear me now?
You really yeah, there's a little bit of a lag, but I think we're good.
Oh,
I think it caught up.
okay.
Yep, we're good now.
All right. What about you, man? What have you been doing lately?
Well, so on the 17th of August was Avery's birthday, right?
Yeah, the
We did
lady.
like yeah, we just did like some dinner and little gifts here and there. But I got kind of us because I had fun too. A helicopter tour of Nashville.
Oh yeah, you told me about
Uh,
that. Was that pretty sweet?
Dude, let me tell you, if you're gonna see a city, that is the way to see a city.
Heck
Holy
yeah.
smokes! We use this company called Hellastar Aviation, and dude, it was so awesome. I mean, we couldn't have picked a better day to fly either. Like blue skies, visibility was ridiculous. Um, our pilot Grant, big shouts to my dude Grant. He's probably never ever gonna see this. He probably don't even remember flying. Yeah, but whatever. Great guy, great pilot. Um,
Yeah,
so yeah, we did that. It was a lot of fun. Work's been pretty quiet this week. I'm not mad about it. I've been really, really excited to do this just because I love talking to my boy, and it's kind of fun to see the views, pop up every couple
bro,
hours. You
it's
get some views. It's nuts.
crazy. I
Hang on,
checked
let me see
right
what we're
before
at.
this. We were
Oh,
at
you're
217. Yeah, when I checked right before this, and
two
like
seventeen,
that blows. Like, who's been watching these? Only 100 of those were me. So
brother.
I don't know who else.
Well, as of right now, we're at 228.
That's crazy, man.
That's nuts. Who are these idiots watching this? Like, come on, man.
these these people are crazy. I honestly, when we were recording the first one, I was like, I bet we'll get like 15 to 20 people, and
Yeah,
then like like 30, 40, like that'd be pretty cool. But then like over 200, these people are insane. Like, what are you doing?
honestly.
Got nothing, nothing.
Don't
You
they have
guys need to get
anything
some
better to do than
hobbies.
listen to you and me gripe and chat?
Yeah. And
What?
now we're like talking crap about them too, so even better.
Honestly.
Oh man, how's your pooping been?
Yeah. Yeah. Don't subscribe. Wait, no.
How's
I'll,
your how's
you caught me off guard with that one. I'll be honest. It's good. Everything is fantastic in that regard. No problemo.
Glad to hear it, man.
Good and regular. Just the way God intended.
The way the Lord intended. Pooping's important.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Agreed.
this is a good segue into one thing that we wanted to talk about, but my secret dream, well not secret, my dream is that I'll get sponsored by one of the companies who has butt wipes because I'm a big fan But
Oh,
flushable butt wipes.
oh yeah. Sustainable flushable dude wipes, like Dude Wipes, that company.
I
You ever
have
heard of
dude
them?
wipes. Yeah, I
That's
have
what I
them.
use.
Yeah.
I love Dude Wipes. Dude, I have brought Dude Wipes across the planet with me. Every time I travel to another country to do whatever, I've got Dude Wipes like on deck because they're so
Nice.
useful, right? You know, you can clean your body if you have to. You can wipe
Mhm.
your face down before you go to bed.
Yeah.
Wipe your butt. It's perfect. They're
Perfect, man.
they're flushable, and I'm pretty sure they're mostly sustainable. I don't
Yeah.
fucking know. Who
It's
cares?
just like a paper product, so you can plant more
Yeah,
trees, I
yeah,
think.
trees grow all the time, probably.
Every day at least.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah. It's like I always say, man, if your pet took a dump on the carpet, you wouldn't just wipe it with a paper towel, say it's good to go, you know? That's why butt wipes are important. My butt hair is the carpet. I don't know if you got that. Here, let me
Let's
draw
let's
you a map. Just
let's.
kidding.
That's too much info, my guy. Wow, that is way too much info.
It's a fact, man. I
Whew.
got a hairy butt. A lot of men do, I
Okay,
assume.
all right, all right. So, Dude Wipes, if you're out there, sponsor your boys. We're going through your product.
Oh my goodness. Anybody that has butt wipes, if you want to sponsor us, that would be phenomenal.
Wow,
Yeah.
that took a turn.
Wouldn't it be funny if we actually got some sponsors one day?
That would be something, wouldn't it? Like,
Yeah.
what are the? I'm a big YouTube guy. I watch lots of like channels and whatnot, and I always
Yeah.
see them like filming or posting about like these like phone games.
I hate
Play
that.
whatever. I hate it,
Yeah.
but I looked into like how much money those guys like make from those ads. Ridiculous. It's dumb.
It adds up.
Not nice. It adds up. It's pretty good.
You like that?
Yeah, that was pretty good. Are you a father?
Am I? No, I'm ready though. I got the dad jokes, man. I'm
Nah,
ready.
straight up. That's what I'm saying.
So any fly honeys that are watching this video, if you're interested,
In him, not me.
that's right. You're taken. You're taken.
Hey, speaking of being a dad and a fly honey, I got a phone call from our friend Jordan Shelby.
Yeah.
I think you should go back and edit out his last name. I forgot to.
We can.
Just
We'll ask
leave
him
that
if
out.
he cares.
And so I'm gonna play it because he left me a voicemail, and I'm gonna play it live.
All right.
Toby hasn't seen it. I hadn't seen it.
We might
This
cut this
could
out.
be this is editable stuff here.
I'm nervous. I'm sweating.
Are you ready?
Hey guys, long time listener, first time caller. Numbers are 6'2", 215 pounds. So yeah, I was just wondering, what are your top 5 things that please the senses? And if you could just name one thing from each sense, so favorite smell and sound and so on. Thank you guys. Enjoy the show.
What do you? Can you?
That's
Can
our
you?
friend Jordan. Were you able to hear that, Toby?
I had a little trouble understanding. I got the top five
Okay,
things.
you are frozen.
Can you hear me
I'm
now?
speaking to myself again.
So I heard the top five
Oh,
things. What was he asking for? The top five what?
you're gonna have to repeat everything you just said, my guy.
I really hope we can edit this video.
Yeah.
I heard the top five things. What was he asking for? The top five what?
So he was asking generally, right? You got 5 senses, right?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, sure. He was asking like what our favorite like thing that stimulates that sense is, right? Like favorite smell, favorite sound, favorite thing to touch, stuff like that. Favorite thing to look at, hear.
That's a really interesting question.
That is tough. That kind of that's gonna take some thinking.
All right, I'll go
Okay,
first.
favorite smell, go.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna do. So smell lavender.
Ooh, that's nice.
So I've read before. that for all your senses, the like your sense of smell has the strongest ability to like connect you back to your
Yep.
memories. So
The
I think the
olfactory.
reason I like that so much is because my grandmother used to always like grow lavender and do stuff
Mm,
with lavender, and it's just such like a relaxing scent, you know. So like
right.
anytime I smell it, like it relaxes me, makes me think of my family. Yeah, lavender.
Funny you mentioned the olfactory system. So I was gonna say diesel exhaust. I love that smell.
Really?
No, seriously, it's a good smell, right? And it made me think about it just now. I guess the reason I like it so much is when I was growing up as a younger kiddo, Dad had this old Ford diesel truck,
Yeah,
and every time I smell like when I crank my truck up in the morning and it's got a little bit of diesely tinge to it,
yeah.
brings me back. So basically, I get to
Oh,
travel back
nice,
in time every morning when I crank up the truck. Pretty cool.
nice.
Yeah,
That's a nice story.
it is. It is. I'll never forget that.
Yeah,
Pretty neat. Favorite thing to look at? Go.
thing to look at. The water, just like water in general.
Like
I don't
just hydrology, water.
hydraulic. Wow, big word. Nice.
Big
Yeah,
word. Big word
hydrology.
today.
I For those that know me, you know that fishing is an integral part of my life. But there's just something about like looking at the water, like wondering what's under it, and like thinking about all the things that could be going on beneath the surface. And just like the way like water moves is really relaxing. You know, like watching like a river or stream, like watching the waves come in, hit the beach. It's very relaxing, but it also like I don't know, like it zones me in. Like I could be like distracted about something and then I see the water and I can like hone in on that, focus on my thought about important things like
Mhm.
fishing.
Sure.
Uh, I'm going to say looking at water, moving water in particular.
Okay. That's a
So
good
many
one.
possibilities, you
Oh
know?
yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
Hmm. That's a tough one. I would
Well,
have to go. I think I'm gonna go on the sunrise gang. That's my favorite thing to look at. Not directly at it because that's just ridiculous. But I love a good sunrise. Just looking at
why do
it.
you, why'd you pick sunrise and not sunset?
Because generally, when I'm watching the sun come up, I've got a cup of coffee, and I'm a big coffee guy. Love coffee,
Okay.
and I don't know. I don't know. I could get super cliche about it. The start of a new day. But no, I just really love coffee and staring at the sun. It's gorgeous. So
Yeah. No, I feel that though, the start of a new day. Like there's something special about going, and this does sound really cheesy, but I don't care. It's what I think. There's something like special about, going from the dark and like watching the light like slowly creep up on the horizon and then you get all the colors and the sun. So I definitely like sunrises more than sunsets for that. But yeah, that's a good one. It's a good choice.
I hear you. What are the other things?
Hearing? What do you like
Hearing. Ooh.
to hear?
Okay. Uh, so I'm gonna try to explain this one the best I can. But the most satisfying sound, like to me, on the planet, right?
Uh-huh.
So, due to my job, I've learned how to, shoot targets that are super far away. So the sound of like around like a bullet, right, cracking and echoing, and then hitting a piece of steel off in the distance, like
Yeah.
oh my god, that connection is oh man, it'll fire me up. It's a good sound. Makes me
Nice.
very very motivated, super happy. Let's hear it. What
Okay.
do you got? Hopefully one day you and I can go do a little bit of that, and I can really show you what I'm talking about. You probably got an idea though.
I haven't really shot as well. Obviously, I haven't shot nearly as much as you. You've always been a lot more into that than me. I haven't really shot any like long range stuff. I think there was just one time where I shot a metal target. I think I was with you. I think I was with you at a range, and they
I
had
think
just
you
like
were.
a metal silhouette. It was far from me, like 300-400 yards, something like that. Not far for you, obviously,
Mhm.
but it's been a minute. But man, I I have one that comes to mind right away. I can't think of anything else, so I'm going to use it. But it's the sound of fishing line like getting pulled off of a fishing reel. There's like
Yeah, the little
yeah, it's like the
something.
zzz, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
when a fish is taking
Oh
out
yeah,
your line,
it came
stripping
on
line.
for
Yeah,
sure.
and that just
That's a good
like
one.
that just gets me
Hey,
going. What's up?
so just before I forget, after we finish the whole sensory stimulation thing, whatever, I have
Yeah.
a funny comment to make that you just reminded me of. But
Okay.
anyway, so we left off on hearing.
Yeah.
Feeling, touching. Uh, Favorite thing to touch. That's tough. Um, I honestly, I don't know. You got anything? Favorite thing to touch.
I like the feeling of so like coffee beans, something like feeling coffee beans in your hand, or like a
Okay.
grain, like just taking like a handful of something like that and feeling it. Whether
Okay.
it's even like oats, like every now and then I'll make oatmeal or something, and I'll just like feel like a handful of it, and I really like how that feels. But yeah, same like coffee, anything kind of like that. I don't know what it is, but feels good.
Oh, I got it. Uh, Puppies' ears. I love rubbing puppies' ears. They're just the softest and most adorable thing on the planet, and I just want to pinch them and squeeze them and rub them. I love them. I think that's
Wow,
got to be it for me. Big puppy guy, let me tell you.
puppy's ears. I respect that. I respect that choice.
Yeah, they're so cute, man. Like, how can you not want to just rub them? You know? Uh,
All right,
wow.
whatever you say.
Okay.
All right,
What are the
sight,
other? What have
sounds,
we not mentioned?
touch, hearing, taste. Did we do taste? That's the last one.
Ah, okay. Favorite taste.
Favorite taste. Oh man, I don't know. I have like a lot of foods that I like.
I know I'm a big food guy.
Hmm. I
Oh
feel like
my god! I guess I'm just gonna pick one.
I feel like I don't have any special connections to like specific tastes like I do with the other senses. I do like fruit. I really like berries. I'm gonna go with berries, like raspberries, blackberries,
Mm.
blueberries, not strawberries. I like strawberries, but it's not the same.
Ooh, I got it.
What you got?
Favorite thing to taste. Probably my dad's hamburgers.
Your dad does make some good
He
hamburgers.
makes a mean burger. He's a big burger guy, and let me tell you, that's another thing that kind of like brings me back to being a kid. We'd grill burgers all the time, and
Yeah.
it's just I don't know. It's fantastic.
Nice. All right. What's the story that you had about fishing and
so
stuff?
so nothing to do with fishing or anything, but it's you remember Twitter?
Do I remember Twitter?
Yeah.
Yes. It's
All
still
right.
around.
And not really. Uh, so I was fooling around on my cell phone the other day because I had nothing better to do, and I thought, I had a Twitter. Let me see if I can log on. I barely remembered my passcodes or whatever, so I get on. Toby, you were a sassy man back in 2013.
I'm a sassy man now, so you're right.
Like I didn't. I don't think I screenshotted any of these things or kept any of them just because I don't know if they'd go over too well on the interwebs or what have you.
Yeah,
In 2021, now that everyone's like a bunch of wieners now or something.
it's true.
But oh, actually, I did save one, and it's pretty on brand with you, Toby. And when I read it, I thought that's exactly something Toby would say, and it reads, "This is from May 23, 2013.
Wow.
Just got charged by a 10-foot alligator while in my 6-foot kayak. That'll give you an adrenaline rush.
I remember that. That
Yeah.
was wild. That was so
Oh,
wild. Should I tell the story? It's just a quick one.
let's hear it.
All right. So I was fishing in this little kayak. Technically, it was my stepmom's kayak. I kind of broke it in a couple ways, so she probably didn't
Oh,
appreciate me fishing in it, but she didn't use it that much, to be fair. Anyway, I'm fishing in the upper delta of Mobile Bay. I was on my way, working my way back in to where I launched from. And this is like it's like a 6-foot kayak, super
yeah.
small, not very stable. But it was nice because it was so light. So I could just like throw it in the back of the car, easy to launch it and stuff. Anyway, I'm coming back. It's a little windy. In the delta, there's just like a bunch of like mud banks.
Check it.
We'll just keep going.
All right, heck it, whatever. Hello,
Send it.
everyone. This is Toby and Christian again. We
This
may
is
have just lost the previous 26 minutes of footage, but whatever. We're here. We got drinks and we're here to chat. So
yeah. Thank
continue
you
with
all.
your
Thank you for
story of the
listening.
alligator in the Delta.
So I'm in this little kayak. It was a little calmer, close to like this little mud bank, and
Okay.
so like I'm paddling like 5 to 10 feet from the shores. I'm making my way back in, right?
Right on.
Like when you're in like real nature, it's loud. Like there's birds calling,
Oh, yeah.
like there's a bunch of different bugs making all sorts of noises, like things like that. Anyway, I get up to this mud bank. There was just like a stretch where there wasn't any cattails or vegetation or anything, and it got like eerily quiet. So I look over, and on the bank is this huge fat alligator. Like it's got a big old belly bulging out. And like I lock eyes with this alligator, and it doesn't slide into the water, it launches itself into the water. Like it went up off the bank, like into the air, and then under the water. And it went right underneath like the front of my kayak. Like I could have reached out and touched this thing if I had timed it
Oh
right.
boy.
Scared the crap out of me, almost swamped the kayak because it wasn't a very stable kayak. And I just like
Yeah.
took off paddling as fast as I could.
Time to
Pretty
go.
sure pretty sure I scared it, just like it scared me. But oh man, I
Yeah.
almost pooped my pants.
Oh, that'd have been tragic.
Yeah,
Man, I really hope we didn't lose the last almost half hour of footage. We were on a pretty good roll, you know.
it's probably fine. Don't think about it.
Probably. So yeah, Twitter, man. If you're ever bored, if you've got a little bit of spare time, try and log on to your old Twitter and look at some tweets.
I'm not going to do that.
I'm just saying, it was pretty funny. Pretty cringy.
So the thing that and I'm sure many other people don't like about Twitter is everyone thinks that like what you have to say is important. Like everyone has like a certain sense of self-importance. Like the average person. Like some people, we care what they say on Twitter, Like Morgan Freeman, I'm going to listen to what he tweets about, because it's Morgan Freeman, right? What a man. But like I like recognized that I was like putting way too much value on these things that I was saying, and it made me like disgusted with myself. So I was like, I gotta quit this, and I did.
Fair enough.
Here I am, 9 years sober of Twitter.
Yeah, 9 years. I think I quit, and no, you had a couple up until 2015, if I remember correctly. So 7 years. We'll call it that.
Okay.
I'm just
MySpace.
recording.
MySpace was where it's at. Best social
Never
media
had it.
platform. What?
Never had
MySpace was the best. You could decorate like your homepage. You could have like your anthem, like a specific song playing. MySpace was legit, man.
Well, I never felt like I was cool enough for MySpace, so I just never did it.
You're cool to me, my friends.
And that's all I care about, So
nice.
Indubitably.
Right.
How's that wine?
What other? It's good. I like it a lot. I opened the bottle yesterday. Had a couple glasses. I'm a big fan. It's nice and light.
big wine guy.
I do like wine. I do like wine.
It is tasty. It is good.
Mm-hmm.
Had a
True.
wine
It's
hangover
true.
before. It's not awesome. But anyway,
Ooh, wine hangovers are like the worst by far. I think maybe it's the sugar.
yeah,
I don't know.
probably.
Yeah, white girl wasted. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, hey, I hear you. I hear you.
Can you hear me?
Literally. Yeah, I
Okay.
can hear you. Oh, I can hear you just fine.
I hear you too. Okay, got
That's
it.
that's ideal.
Yeah, for sure.
At least.
All right, what else? You want to move into our news section?
Oh, sure. Lay it on me. What you got?
So, couple things I've been reading a lot about this week. The whole Mar-a-Lago raid with Donald Trump.
Okay.
Have you been keeping up with that one?
Initially, yeah. Um, but like with all news, it gets kind of thrown to the wayside. So I, kind of
Yeah,
put it aside. Very interesting though. It's I'm not super educated on the whole thing, so I don't want to sound like a total jackass, but seemed kind of wrong in some regards.
very sketchy. Definitely
Yeah.
wrong. Definitely broke some rules, maybe some laws. I'm not a lawyer, but
You
for
could be.
those that aren't aware, the FBI did a raid of Trump's residence, Mar-a-Lago, and they seized like 30 to like 35 boxes of classified documents. I don't know how big these boxes are, but the
Hmm.
classifications were confidential, secret, and top secret. For those that don't
Okay.
know, top secret, highest classification. Um, and after he became president, he said that he like gave all those like all the classified documents that he had back, and his lawyers have said that he gave everything back. And like right now, his lawyers have like flat out denied that he held on to any of these classified documents, but they found them in his Mar-a-Lago home or whatever, residence, estate, whatever you want to call it, which is wild. So the people that are like on Trump's side at this and like what his lawyers have said is that the president has the ability to declassify documents, which is 100% true. The president of the United States is the ultimate classification authority, and he's the one who has the final say on like what something should be classified as, if it can be declassified down to a lower level or like made unclassified completely. And that's actually held like pretty high up. So like the president is the ultimate authority, like the Secretary of Defense, Secretary of the Army, and like the Joint Services Chiefs of Staff, and then like maybe one more level down. But otherwise,
Hmm.
that's it. Those are the people who can say like, yes, this thing is classified, or no, it's not, or yes, it can be unclassified, whatever. But Trump has this stuff. He's no longer the president, so like I feel like that's the thing that people don't want to talk about. Like he's not the president, and you don't just say like yes this is no longer classified. Like there's a process and then you change the marking on the documents, but like when they picked up the documents they still had all the classification markings. So like it's a fact that he was holding classified documents without like the proper authority to do so. And so for like the investigation they're tying this to obstruction of justice. I don't know if I totally get that link. I mean, he lied or his lawyers lied about giving all that stuff, all those classified documents back. So
Yeah.
now I think the DIA is investigating like what the potential effects are that he held on to those classified documents. Like maybe they're the only copies. I don't know. But like for sure it's not okay for him to have that stuff anymore because he's no longer the president. So
Sure.
it's wild, man. You can't just keep that stuff at your house. It's a madman. If he was president, sure, but he's not president anymore.
Wasn't
You know?
wasn't there also like a debacle about or whatever about like the FBI like not having the proper, I guess, credentials prior to raiding his house. Yeah, I don't know. I thought I heard something about that where they didn't have like the proper warrant or credentials to actually do it, and that's
Yeah,
massively illegal. I mean, I get it. Yeah, he held the top secret stuff, but let's call out every legality issue while we're at it.
sure. Yeah. I don't know a ton about that. So I mean, there was a warrant. A judge signed
Oh,
off on
okay.
a warrant saying it was okay. Um, the warrant was released, but I think like most of it was redacted because they wanted to protect the witnesses involved that tipped him off.
Right.
So the public, I guess you could say, has not been satisfied looking at the warrant because there's just not. I haven't looked at it myself, but
Yeah.
apparently there's not much useful info because most of it's redacted.
The
But
old black
there
shark.
was a yeah, right, yeah, but
Hmm.
yeah, I don't know what else about that. But there was a warrant that some judge said it was good to go. But he's going to testify. Trump is going to have to testify in the next day or two, and the group making the case against him. I don't know. That's like the DIA. I'm not really sure how this stuff works, but they're going to testify in the next day or two. So I'm interested to
Right.
see in what they have to say, or if they're going to continue to say like, no, like we didn't have that stuff, which would be wild because they would have to like falsely planting evidence for like what Trump's legal team saying right now for that to be true, which would be
I
wild.
mean, is
Also,
that really too far off brand for the
so so is it
normalcy?
possible? Is
Mm,
it possible?
that's
Yes.
not too far off brand, but
Do I trust all government institutions? No way, definitely not. Generally,
absolutely not.
I mistrust them. But like
Yeah.
planning that much like fake evidence would be a pretty big deal. And it wasn't even like the FBI that raided his house. Like they used local law enforcement to raid him, to raid like the estate or whatever and look through everything so that it wouldn't look like they were, I don't know, like a conflict of interest, or it was
Yeah.
less biased because they just used like local law enforcement guys to raid rather than FBI agents.
Right.
So we'll see what
Well,
happens in the next couple of days.
yeah.
I'm
It'll.
interested.
Yeah. I wonder. I wonder who's gonna get the burn for that one. Who knows?
Yeah, but like Hillary Clinton, the DOJ like 100% said like yes, we found that Hillary Clinton had classified documents improperly kept on her personal computer and they were not stored
Yeah.
correctly. Like she had them in her residence. Like that was laid out as like yes, we found that she did this, and nothing happened. They didn't prosecute her. They didn't do anything to her. So
That
even if they do
is
find, yeah,
bad.
it's wild. So even if they do find like yes, he was improperly holding on to classified documents and potentially like threatened homeland security, who knows?
Uh,
It's like a separate issue. Whether or not like they definitively say that he is guilty of improperly holding classified documents and like threatening homeland security, and
right.
then I'm actually like doing anything about it, like totally separate. It's wild.
Hmm.
If I get
Right.
suicided, I just want to say, if it looks like I commit suicide, it was the Clintons.
I will avenge you.
remember,
Don't you
remember
worry,
that?
buddy. You will
Remember
be the martyr.
who was the guy? He was in jail, and he
Epstein.
like
Jeffrey Epstein.
I tried to like, they ruled it suicide. It's
Yeah.
like he was shot in the back
You
of the
know,
head. two
you know, it's
shots in the
fun.
back of the head or something.
Yeah, right. No one on that list, that little dirty book he had, none of those people that have been to like his island or whatever, which think what you will about that. None of those people have been arrested.
I know.
What the hell?
It's wild, man.
Not okay. It's
It's
not all
wild
right.
stuff.
I don't know. It's a
Crazy.
wild world we live in, man.
It's a wild world. What are some
You
good
know
things? What are some good things in the news?
what? Kind of. You know the news. They kind of want to stir the pot, right? That's how they get views. And good things are kind of hard to find sometimes.
We are the
Like
news,
like here,
Christian. We're making the news
honestly,
now.
we could be we could be like the next major news source or whatever. It'd be pretty sweet. I
I
could be
love
a
it, man.
reporter.
I
You
call
know,
it like I see it. We have some unique
absolutely.
insight, I think.
We're pretty unbiased, except in the ways of freedom. That's really it.
Yeah.
Pretty smart guys. I think you know what next business venture. Let's be news reporters. We'll be like that movie with Will Ferrell. Is it Will Ferrell? What's that movie?
Are you talking about
Anchorman.
Anchorman?
Yeah,
Great
that one.
movie.
That's the one.
Great movie.
Fantastic film. I watched that for the first time just the other week. Avery said, "You haven't seen that?" I said, "No." She said, "We're gonna watch it." So, but fantastic movie. I was really impressed.
Hmm.
Hilarious.
I think this is a good time to
I think.
make our disclaimer that we talked about.
Ah,
I'll
yes.
I'll start us off. So
Yes.
Christian and I are both in the military. The reason we don't want to talk about our job is because we don't want anyone to mistakenly, you know, think that our ideas are the Department of Defense, the DoD's position. What we're expressing is our own personal opinion, obviously. But being military members, we do have unique insight for sure. So like when I watch the news and they talk about military stuff, like they're
Yeah.
wrong. Just like 95% of the wrong,
Almost all
95% of the time, it's like what you're saying is factually wrong. Like you're totally not understanding what's going on. Like everything in Ukraine right now.
that is such a vague and broad conflict.
There's a
There's
ton
a
of stuff
lot going,
that's been, yeah,
lot
ton
going
of
on.
stuff going on, and like hundreds of years of history that's like feeding into what's going on right now. I tried to like prep some notes. I know we talked about it. I tried to prep some notes so I could talk about it and like maybe give like a quick background and then give my take, but like oh man, there's so much. There's so much history there, so much that's like led to the conflict right now. And it's a mess. But like the big thing I've been reading about lately is the UN is sending a group of people to look at the nuclear plant in Zapor- Zap,
Oh
Zapor-
yeah, the other one.
Zaporizhia. I don't know.
Yeah, the Z
Um,
one. I got you.
the Z one. You know, everyone knows. It's what they've been talking about
There's
recently.
Chernobyl and then the Z one. I got it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, not Chernobyl, the Z one. But yeah, so the group of inspectors is going to look at the nuclear plant, see like how safe everything is, and then give their findings and recommendations. Obviously, it's an active war zone right there, and there are many photos that show that Russian vehicles are like taking shelter next to the plant because obviously Russia's using that as a shield. It's like the same as like using a human
Yeah,
shield and hiding in with civilians. It's like, oh, like
right.
they're not going to shoot us. If they do, that's a win for us because then we get to spin it in our favor. So like ton of Russian troops like posting up, bunch of vehicles right next to the plant, and it's just like a skeleton crew of workers that are maintaining the power plant there.
Right.
So yeah, that UN group is just going to see and like look how safe it is, which I don't know. There's like already like there's been pictures of holes in the buildings. There's huge fires that have broken out nearby, so people are concerned that the fires are going to spread to the nuclear facilities, which wouldn't be good. So that'll be interesting. But like it's I don't know. I'm interested to see how much access that they actually get to the power plant, because if I was Russia, I'd only show them like the good parts. Be like, yeah, look at this. It's totally fine. Like it's good. It's good. We're taking care of it. Russia's going to try to spin this to make themselves look good. So I don't know. We'll see,
Nuclear
man.
plant is fine. Okay,
Totally safe.
totally
Totally fine.
fine. No problem.
Ukraine's trying to blow it up. That's what they're going to say. They're protecting it.
Yeah.
So It'll be interesting. We'll see. We'll see what comes. We'll see what comes of that.
You know, another little factoid about that conflict. It was just a few days ago where it was the 6 month, like marked 6 months of the conflict, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And they, I guess, Russian strategists or what have you, had estimated it that it would be a 3 day conflict.
That's
Big
wild, man.
shots to the dudes in Ukraine holding it down.
They misjudged that.
You know, there's actually some good news coming out of that, sort of. Uh, it's not really good news. It's kind of refreshing, right? It's kind of nice to see the good side of humanity for a change, right? There's been a lot of nonprofits going over there, and this is,
Yeah.
I guess, pretty much with every conflict zone. There's these nonprofits that go there to actually help people.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, it's good to see that side of humanity for a change. Seeing people help people
That
is
is
solid.
good.
There's some good
Yeah.
news. I made a good news story. Look at
Look at
that.
that. Look at
Look at
you.
that. Hey,
Look at that.
look at that. Look at you. Look at that. I'm
Yeah.
running low.
That is good. People are good sometimes. That's for
Sometimes
sure.
not. Most of the time, no. But sometimes, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, what else? Oh, another some other cool stuff. I've been catching up on SpaceX and Elon Musk, all of those latest exploits. He had a press release for the Starship mission. Are you familiar? Well, I'll give a quick recap in case anyone who's
Not
listening
really.
isn't familiar. He's building a Starship. There's been a handful of different tests. Like they've already flown it to low orbit and then landed it successfully. But this is the ship that SpaceX is going to use to take people and stuff to Mars. Like this is the big one. It's the biggest rocket that there's ever been. Well, maybe not the largest, but the thrust is by far
Big
the
thrust.
most out of any other ship. Like the last ship that was close to is this big is what we actually took to the moon. So pretty big
That's
deal. They've done a bunch of successful tests, which is neat, and yeah, it's pretty cool, man. Going to Mars one day.
I have zero drive to go to Mars. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah,
Oxygen and an atmosphere is pretty great. I'm a big fan.
oxygen is good. I agree. Atmospheres are nice. I've watched all these videos. You know how it is. You go down like a rabbit hole, like watching YouTube videos, and
Yeah,
all these
yeah.
ones are talking about like colonizing Mars and what that would look like. And the big assumption is that they think like thousands to like millions of people are going to be like, yeah, send me to Mars right now. Like all these
Let's go
projections,
right
like
now.
yeah, in like 2025, like we're gonna have this many starships built, which very well may be
Yeah.
true. I don't remember the amount, but like we've already have one. They're not complete with testing, but it's like almost all the way there, which is dope. So yeah, and then 5,000 people are gonna go on this first voyage, and then 6 months later, 10,000 people, and then in 10 years, 5 million people. It's like I don't know if you're gonna be able to get 5 million people to agree to go to Mars. You know?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the climate here on Earth. I'm a big fan of it.
Yeah, going to Mars would be
Interesting.
really cool, but
Maybe a day trip,
well,
even though it would take far more than that to just go there. But anyway, how many people can those rockets move at a time? Do you know? Did you read that?
oh, that's a good question. I wish I could remember.
Hmm.
They have a pretty big payload. I mean, it's built both to take people and a bunch of equipment. I can't remember how many though. I want to say like somewhere into the range of like a mission would be like 50 to 100 people plus equipment. And then on later
Okay.
missions, when they're mostly just bringing people, they could do a lot more. Something in that range. That's probably not exact, but like somewhere along those lines.
It's a lot of bodies.
Yeah, they're gonna have like a bar in the spaceship, like a bar and restaurant, because it's like a year. It's gonna take like a year to get to Mars.
Yeah, where are they going to find their their passengers? Like, who can afford to take a year off to go? Well, I'm going to go to Mars. It's probably going to be 2 years. Got to come back eventually, maybe, probably. Who can
Well,
afford to do that? And who
you'd
wants to
be
do that?
you'd be going
I'm
to
good.
like you'd be going to settle Mars. Like you're probably not going to come back. Like
Oh yeah, no.
that would be the deal. It's like you're going to be part of the people that establish a community on Mars and like maybe come back one day, but like a long term. Like you're moving there. You're not taking a trip. You're moving there.
I just I couldn't do that like at all. I have too many friends and family to just get up and bounce like that.
It'd be pretty crazy to go right now. I could see if I was in like my
You're
50s
frozen
and
again.
60s. Can you hear me?
If you don't get Wi-Fi, I'm gonna lose it.
I told you I can't. I'll have to get a new I'll have to get a new carrier. I ordered Starlink though, or I didn't order it, but I put a request in. I'm on the waiting list. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now, but I all that last spiel about being in your 50s or 60s couldn't hear it.
Yeah, so like I could see myself maybe agreeing to go to Mars. I'm like in my 50s and 60s, like I've achieved some good things in life. And it's like, I think I'm going to go close it out on Mars. Give my last 20, 30. That might be optimistic. But you know what I mean. It's like, yeah, I'm going to go close it out. I'm going to die on Mars.
Hmm.
But like right now, like no way. Like I would not agree to go right now. That'd be wild.
Absolutely not.
Yeah. But like Elon Musk has said, like, yeah, people probably will die. Like it's not going to be safe. This isn't a
Some of you will
glamorous
die.
thing. He's like, people are probably gonna die. Like, there's gonna be problems. There's gonna be accidents. Like, very dangerous. So it's cool that he's
Sure.
straight up about that.
Oh boy. So yeah, if you don't get Wi-Fi in the next as ASAP as possible, I'm gonna lose it.
I can't. I told you that I can't. AT&T
You
doesn't
can't
offer it. They're my carrier.
look at Verizon. I'm
I
just
don't want
kidding.
to go back to Verizon.
I'm just
AT&T is
kidding.
supposed to have like the best coverage out here in the DC area. They're supposed to be the best.
Hmm. Oh,
I
from
don't
what
know.
I'm seeing,
You're
not accurate.
you're right though. I need to get something. That's for sure.
Don't hurt me.
I applied for Starlink. Did you hear me when I said that?
I did just now. That's cool.
Yeah, so the area it's split up by like, geographical areas. Where I'm at, it's there's limited access, so there's a waiting list. So I put in to be on the waiting list.
Hmm,
So who knows, maybe in a year I'll have internet from Starlink. That'd be pretty cool.
for sure. Hmm.
Yeah.
You know what I was thinking about the other day?
What's that?
You remember when we were youngsters? Not super young, but young enough to be innocent, but old enough to get in trouble. Um, where we'd go play airsoft in the backyard or something,
Of course.
of course, and Kelsey just had to play. I'm like, are you sure? All right, yeah. Here you go. Here's the weakest little airsoft toy we got.
Oh, Kels.
Boy, we lit her up, didn't we?
Bless
I don't know.
her heart.
You know how like yeah, you know how like some like memories are just staples of childhood, and you just will always remember them. That's
Yeah.
one of them.
That's
In
a
the
staple
neck.
for me too. Yeah, you shot me in the neck, bro. Are we gonna have her on here?
Yeah, man. She really wants to. Maybe in the next 2-3 weeks, hopefully. She's down.
Right
She's
on.
down to clown. Got to get Jay Shelb on here too, so he can
We got to.
contribute to the to the jargon.
Yeah. Shout out to Jay Shelp. He had a great prompt for us.
Dude, that was a really good, I guess, set of questions. I was really caught off guard. I was thinking it was gonna be something ridiculous, knowing Jay
Yeah.
Shelp. That was pretty good. That I had to turn some cogs in here that I hadn't turned in a while to come up with some answers.
Yeah, for sure.
Hmm. Well, what else, man?
Let's see. We talked about pooping. That's important
Yeah,
to
there
me.
was a brief segment.
Talked about our news stuff. Yeah, I feel like we talked about most of the things I wanted to talk about. I don't have any real life updates. I wish I had more, but I'm still sleeping on a mattress, which is a bummer. I have a 4-day weekend though, so I'm gonna try some fishing. Hopefully, I'll be able to talk
Yeah.
about that on the next podcast.
Hey, that's cool. I'm actually heading out to Eastern Tennessee. You remember Clint? I don't want to say his last name just because this is
Yeah.
the internet. But you remember Clint? That guy,
Yep.
pretty funny guy, goofball.
Yeah.
He is getting married in like
What?
a little while. Yeah, and he hit me up. He was like, "Hey, you want to come to a bachelor party?" I said, "Yeah." I'm not gonna say no to that. So we're gonna go. I guess his family has like this cabin out in the mountains of Eastern Tennessee, and we're gonna go off roading and shoot some stuff maybe and swimming, drink some beer. So that'll be maybe I'll have a fun little update from that. I don't know.
Cool.
We'll see. I feel like I'm gonna be the grandpa. I only know like one other guy going, and I feel like I'm gonna be
Yeah.
the grandpa of the group, just in bed by 9.
Yeah. Well,
I'll be
you
5.
got the mustache for it.
Yeah, and the back problems for it too. So that's cool. I'm just kidding.
No doubt.
My back
No
is
doubt.
spry. Well, cool, man. Do you want to call it or what else? Wait, hang on.
I'm feeling good.
Oh,
Let's close it out.
let's close it out with this. I got a little something.
Ooh.
So for any potential, oh, we were just talking about them.
Sponsors?
Folks who want to sponsor us. Yeah, for any potential sponsors out there, hear me and hear me well. We are both good people, but we do maintain a certain level of moral flexibility, if you know what I mean. So if you got some questionable products, throw them our way. So long as it's not awful, we'll probably do it. Just,
We are happy to lie and say that your products work, even if they don't.
or
Like
we'll
if you
tell
have
the
something
truth.
for hair, because like I'm balding, I'll start wearing a
I'm
wig
getting there
if
too,
you sponsor us, and I'll say it was
man.
your product gave me the hair. I don't care.
Yeah. Yeah. So just keep that in mind, folks. If any of you have any ideas or uh, potential sponsors, our email is in the link. Uh, just keep in mind we're good, but we do have a certain level of moral flexibility. So, Toby, I guess I'm going to call it. That sound good to you?
Hey, this was fun, man. Thank you.
This was really
Thanks to
fun.
all our
I had a great
listeners.
time.
I still can't believe we had so many people watch our first video. So for real, appreciate all you guys.
Before we go, let's get another update on that. See where we're at on video or episode number 1. Sorry, it'll only take me a second.
Yeah, I can pull
Episode
it up
number
too.
1, 228 views.
That's crazy,
You guys
man.
got to get some freaking.
You guys need to get a life, get some hobbies. What are you doing?
But thanks a lot for watching, whoever the hell you are. I don't know.
All right.